We'll have to see how well I can insulate the recording from this cough that's been haunting me today. Let's find out. Divine intervention. The Photon steward looks as though he has something to say. Ah, Master Erwin, my lord the Count much desires to speak with you regarding your time with Lord Artoirel and Lord Manalaine. If you would remain here for a moment. May also notice we've turned the music down. It is at 50. It was at 70 before. It just seemed like it was a little overwhelming. I wish that the balance on that would remain consistent between contexts.
I cannot thank you enough for saving young Manalaine's life. Aye, he told me everything.
Yeah, you smacked him around, right?
I've also received letters from both House Zamail and Durandal
Zamail, it's
praising your
pronounced.
conduct and that of House Forton. You've won us much honor, my friend.
Just stick your name tag on me and I'm in your service.
What is it? Speak.
Pray forgive the intrusion, my lord, but I bring grave tidings.
What's up?
Master Alphino and Mistress Tataru have been detained on suspicion of fermenting heresy.
Oh boy. The short ones getting themselves in trouble.
Explain.
They were observed entering a tavern in the lower levels on some half-dozen occasions. There, it is claimed, they made a number of inquiries. Inquiries which brought them into contact with certain elements. 'Twas this which prompted a Knight of the Heavens Ward to demand that they be questioned. Sir Grinno, my lord.
Grinno sounds like bad news.
An exceedingly accomplished brute, but a brute nonetheless. Alas, he is also a son of House Zamail.
And of course we couldn't possibly...
Petty nature of men. I'd wager your friends are no more than pawns in another of my countrymen's games. Such is the way of things between the high houses.
Maybe investing a ton of power in a small number of hands is not a good way to run your fucking society. Just a thought. Speak with Edmond. Alright, Edmond, what you got to say? Though you have won the hearts and minds of many of my countrymen, there are those who would never be swayed. Men will dismiss your efforts and resent your successes even as we celebrate them. It is like that one such member of House Zamail is manipulating Sir Grinno, for he is not a man to dabble in politics of his own volition. You may genuinely believe your friends to be guilty, though I am quite certain his masters know better. Yet the truth will avail us not if we cannot prove their innocence. You would do well to speak with Sir Emmerich at the congregation of our knights most heavenly. You will know more of these charges. What else you got to say? I know as little as you do of the situation, Master Erwin. Sir Emmerich, though, will surely know more. Sounds good to me. Let's head over there. Yeah, linked to the teleport network. So Emmerich is hanging out in the Forgotten Night, huh? That seems a little unlike him. Emmerich, Oshfont, what have you got to say? Erwin, I had but this moment resolved to go and fetch you. I presume you've heard what happened then. Oof. Lucia. That they should regard the signs with such suspicion even after you stood with us at the steps of faith. It is bad comedy. Yet unlike the grave injustice you suffered in Ul'dah, this wrong may swiftly be righted. Andalou. Sir Emmerich has told me much and more about you. Suffice it to say, my expectations are high. Ma'am, you don't gotta get so up close. That's a really nice jacket she's got on, though. Can we try that on? This, try on. Yeah, show me the rest of my gear. It's a little bit shiny. I guess we could change the color, huh? What if we made it black? I guess if we made it black or white, it would lose a lot of its, character. Oh yeah, I think we may actually have that already, right? That might just be the, oh, yeah, it's just a leveling item. An augmented blue coat of healing. Yeah, that's a... Yep. Nothing exotic. Just eye-catching that she's got this metallic dye on it. Cool. Emmerich, it's been a while. You gonna be voiced? No. It's been too long, Erwin. Would that this visit came under happier circumstances. You are come to plead for Master Alphino and Mistress Tataru, I take it. Word of their detainment reached us while I was delivering my report on Vanu Primal. Truly, I know not which is the more ludicrous, these charges or that flying feathered whale. But Ser Grenoux's accusations are baseless, I have no doubt. Refuting them will be difficult, though, as he is a knight of the Heavens Ward. That has so much to do with evidence, doesn't it? Whoa, music change. I speak of the personal guard of the Archbishop, the 12 finest knights in all of Ishgard, sworn to serve his eminence alone. Suffice it to say, their testimony is unimpeachable, and I have not the authority to challenge their actions. After all this science have done, routing the heretics and defeating Shiva, helping us to defend the steps of faith and drive back the Dravanian horde, after proving themselves true allies on countless occasions, is there naught we can do? I fear there is but one path left to us. We must demand a trial by combat. Whoa! But of course, yet naturally. In a trial by combat sanctioned by the Inquisition, the victor's claim is judged true regardless of the petitioner's standing. Under Ishgardian law, trial by combat pits the accuser and the accused. In this instance, Master Alvanu and Mistress Tataru would be expected to face Ser Grenou and a second of his choosing, another Knight of the Heavens Ward, most like. Two of them, by the fury that can hardly be considered fair. Master Alvanu's magical talents will not have gone unnoticed, meaning that he will have no choice but to participate. Mistress Tataru, on the other hand, is quite obviously bereft of martial skill, and should be afforded the right to name a champion to fight in her stead. Lest you doubt, I am ready and willing to serve in this capacity, as I am sure is Lord Orchefort, but all here present know that you are the most accomplished warrior among us, mayhap in the realm at large. Well, that is true. Then it's settled. I'll visit Master Alphino at once and inform him of our intentions. Erwin, meet me at the tribunal when you've made ready. Until then, my friend. Sure, until then. Till then, I am as I ever was. The trial will be held at the Supreme Sacred Tribunal of Alonic Inquisitory Doctrine. I will be in attendance, as will many others with a vested interest in the outcome. Stint not in your preparations, my friend. The Knights of the Heavens Ward will prove a stern test for even one such as you. Lucia, any further comment? But they should regard the signs. Oh, we've seen this one. Yep, that's the same thing she said before. Alright, so whereabouts is the pillars? That's the tribunal bonfire. Just take me away. Teleport me right where I'm going. This is quite the room. I've been here before, actually, but we haven't committed that to video yet. Listen carefully, Erwin. When the trial begins, the petitioner will be asked to restate his charges and the accused invited to respond. Then, in accordance with the law, they'll be asked to restate their request for trial by combat. Once the High Adjudicator acknowledges Mistress Tataru's right to name a champion, that is when you must make your entrance. Oh, I cannot wait to see the look on Ser Grenoux's face when he sees his true opponent. It will be priceless. More seriously, should you begin to lose heart, look to me in the stands, and I shall cheer so loud you'll wonder how you could ever have contrived to doubt yourself. Are you ready? I'm always ready for a very easy solo instance. Promote me to glory, why don't you? Whoa. Ooh, well, they sure look like they got no kind of sinister intent.
We are gathered here today under the watchful gaze of the Fury to ascertain the guilt of two souls in a trial by combat. Petitioners, step forward.
Go on, go on.
Ser Grenou, for the benefit of all here present, I would ask you to repeat the charges which you have leveled against this man and this woman.
I, Ser Grenou de Zemile, brother of the Heavens Ward, did bear witness to these two foreigners consorting with heretics.
Is that so? Get it on tape, dork? Can't prove a thing.
Let the accused step forward.
Can they reach the podium? No.
Alphino Leveilleur, Tataru Taru, You have heard the charges leveled against you.
And they are dire
Will you take
indeed.
up arms to refute Sir Grino's claim, and thereby prove your innocence in the eyes of gods and men?
I, Alfredo Leveilleur, am innocent of this charge and claim my right to trial by combat.
I bet Alphino knows how to say that in every court in the
Taru,
realm.
I'm innocent of this charge.
And she's just been coached.
I am no warrior and cannot fight. So, I claim the right to name a champion.
Surely someone who can't fight would be the perfect vessel for a trial by combat. Has anyone ever actually used
To the
trials
old
by
and the
combat?
infirm, the young and the weak, this right we allow. Very well. Who will stand for this woman?
We stand at Tataru. From down the hallway, echoing on the stone. Hello.
Just as I was beginning to doubt the efficacy of the Ishgardian justice system. Come, my friend. Let us put an end to this mama's farce.
Sounds good to me. The dude's got nice hair. The far leftmost. Judiciary. Udex. Wow. It has to happen in the hall, huh? We needed elaborate machinery for this, I guess. Well, whatever gets it out of the way.
O Halone, render unto us your judgment. Raise
I
up
don't know
the
if I'm ready
righteous,
to be
cast
judged.
down the wicked.
I had a whole, I had a life before I met you people, and you took it away. What does Halone consider sinful? Because I've got a long scroll of infractions against various different gods. Okay, defeat the Heavens Ward. I shall do what I can to support you, Erwin. Now let us teach these noble sirs the... something of bearing false witness. What do we have here? This one is mine, Sir Grino. Go play with the boy. Bloody waste of... Come on, men. You wanted this, remember?
I have my pride.
Oh, nice shout there. Can I stun you? That'd be funny. That looks like no. Ooh, he's chuckling. Why is this partially voiced? They could have just voiced the whole thing. You chained the child. I've had enough of your tricks. You've been indulged enough, heathen swine. Long point. Alfinero, look out. She would say, Aaron.
Hells take you!
Summon the electro bubbles. I mean, why not? You may notice we've hidden even more of our UI. Parceled that out into a separate interface tab so that I can switch more easily between the two. No, I suppose it's not. But it is over. Please cut off their heads. I promise you you'll regret not cutting off their heads. Heads off. We won. The Fury has spoken. Alfino Leveilleur, Tataru, you are hereby acquitted of all charges. Blessed are we who receive of her wisdom and see justice wrought by her divine hand. Petitioners, accused, go forth in peace. This is a very one-sided operation there. Delivered from an untimely demise yet again. My thanks as always. We're always here to get your back, little man. He's gonna not let them cut you down. Enfant. By the Fury, what a splendid victory. To see how you strove in the face of adversity. Two brave young souls bound together by the puissant bonds of camaraderie. It stirred me to the very depths of my soul. Having been treated to such a rousing spectacle, it seems only right that I present you with a humble token of mine admiration. Pray receive of me this chocobo whistle, the traditional gift. With it you may summon a black chocobo, fully trained and ready to fly. It's just in here? What? Why is it here? No, this is no place for the bird. Take the bird back outside. Magnificent is she not? Strong yet sleek, elegant yet eager. What say you, Erwin? Will you take her for your steed? Sure. Lord Orchefon, chocobos are prohibited in the Supreme Sacred Tribunal of the Hellenic Inquisitory Doctrine. Your steed must remain outside. You gonna tell the boy that? Okay, you did tell the boy that. It's a very pliant animal. Divine intervention. So it would seem that a certain amount of ether current's now accessible. Yeah, we don't need to worry about that. That is how you unlock flying in a given area. But thankfully, we are blessed with feet off the ground. Orchefon, disclosure. Lord Orchefon thinks you do the well-deserved rest. Like chocobos are all well and good, but the true reward for your efforts is the exoneration of your comrades. They shall be released upon the completion of certain minor formalities, which I mean to see to personally. In the meantime, pray return to Fort Tom Manor. The Count has done so already and will doubtless be eager to discuss the day's events. Sounds good to me. Okay, let's talk to everybody first. Artoirel. I was not present at the trial, but my father told me of your performance. He said you were a wonder to behold. Now then, are you trying to become the talk of the city? Because if you are, you're doing an admirable job of it. Brings me joy to see you in good health, Master Erwin. Count Edmond, I bet this is going to be voiced again, huh? Nope. Aloni smiles on us yet again, Master Erwin, guiding you to a victory and setting our comrades free. I confess I did fear for your safety, which is not to say I doubted your prowess, you understand. I merely knew the strengths of your opponents. You do have a habit of exceeding my expectations. Besting two of the Heaven's Ward while the city's elite looked on. By the Fury, anyone who hasn't been paying attention to you will surely do so from now on. I didn't really necessarily want that. I mean, being incognito was not necessarily the point, but it wouldn't have hurt, don't you think? My lord, it's just emergency after emergency around here, huh? We've just received a message from the vault. His Eminence the Archbishop requests the presence of Master Erwin. An invitation from the Archbishop? What an honor. What an honor. A personal summons is indeed a great honor, and given recent events, you should be wise not to delay. Go, Master Erwin, we shall speak anon. A priest will be waiting for you outside the vault. Identify yourself to him and he will escort you inside. Okay, well, I'm not 100% sure where the vault is, so this may be a slightly less No, well, it's no at all, actually, because the vault was just up the way. Let's enjoy the approach, why don't we? These were the ancient knights, right? The founders of the kingdom in their Faram armor. I don't blame them. It looks pretty good. And look at these wannabes imitating their ancestors. Or very specifically, not their ancestors. Ishgardian priest. We are honored to receive you, Master Erwin. This way, please. Trot, trot, trot. What's going on here? What was that about? Oh, we see ourselves with our helmet off so rarely that I didn't recognize us.
Your Eminence, it is my honor to present to you the Warrior of Light.
Yeah, it is, Emmerich. Let's turn.
I have heard the tales of your many grand endeavors. The Lord Commander has also been most effusive in his praise. I am Thorin VII, Archbishop of the Ishgardian Orthodox Church, and I bade you come here that I might offer my personal apologies.
For all the shit that I'm about to do.
Not calling upon you as courtesy would dictate. But, as you can see, my More sprightly days are long behind me. But I digress. Your companions were wrongly accused of heresy and subjected to gross indignities. This, I am sorry to say, was the result of negligence on the part of our nation's protectors.
Yeah, well, cop's gonna
Negligence
cop.
born of an excess of zeal. Is that not so, Sir Zephyrin?
It wasn't Zephyrin who did it, though, was it? Maybe Zephyrin was the new Egdemon, or maybe he's the lead.
It would appear that we of the Heavens Ward were in receipt of erroneous information.
We know, because God said so.
No has ever been headstrong. He pressed charges before the truth had been ascertained, for which I most sincerely apologize.
Well, I can't imagine that your justice system's ever been used to do anything like that before. This is probably a one-off.
Misunderstanding born of an earnest desire to serve Ishgard, but one which should never have occurred.
That is
For who
true.
could doubt the character of those who bested Shiva and drove the Horde from the steps of faith? Not I. That much is certain.
You do have to be a nice guy to do those things. You're not any old loser, no way. You gotta have character.
I would speak with our guest in private.
In this giant echoing chamber.
I...
Get the fuck out, Blondie. That was
That will be
good.
all for today.
That was very good. What have we got? Meow. Smiley face cat.
Privacy is a luxury rarely afforded one in my position.
Yeah, well, I mean, you only keep giant rooms.
Now, tell me, young man, what do you know of the Asians?
Whoa, you know about the Askians? Well, we already know that, but I guess everyone doesn't.
Being the bringer of light. You should know that I myself have met with them, have entertained them as guests, even. Those harbingers of chaos and strife offered us power that we might continue our war against the dragons. I have no intention of aiding their cause, of course, nor less of being their puppet.
How confident are you can avoid that fate, Beardy?
Yet, were I to refuse them outright, I should learn naught of their true objectives and remain powerless to stop them. Thus have I hearkened to their words with interest and paid lip service to their beliefs, biding my time and preparing for the inevitable conflict.
That always goes well. You guys seem really measured and not power hungry at all.
Because there is naught in this world they fear more than the power of the warrior of light.
Oh, that's right. You gonna recruit me to kill your guests.
If we are to rid ourselves of these vile interlopers, we must needs work together. With our combined strength, I have faith that we can wrest Eorzea from their grasp and pave the way for a lasting peace. Think on it.
Thinking, I don't want to work with you, motherfucker. I do not want to work with you. You are a bad man and a representative of a bad organization. And we haven't even gotten the story with the dragons yet. Like, the story with the dragons is almost irrelevant to whether or not the church is a moral institution. Look how it treats its own society. Even if they were the victims of baseless transgression, which I think we're going to find out right quick is not the case. Even so, the society that they built inside that is reprehensible on every level, both in terms of clearly the structure of its economy, its general social structure, but in particular the way it metes out what it calls justice. I certainly would not call it that myself. Let's step into the manor. I'm never gonna get over the Inquisitor fake burning a bunch of people. Nearly cried when you stepped forward to the tribunal, Erwin. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey, Tataru. Traitor or not, I've got your back. Alphino.
There you are.
They
I
voiced.
confess, I was more than a little concerned when I learned that you had been summoned to the vault. What did they want with you?
I don't think Alphino's gonna like this news.
Well, well. A formal apology and an admonishment of those responsible. I see my fears were wholly misplaced. By the gods! The Archbishop freely admits to consorting with Ascians. So, their ambitions extend to Ishgard as well.
Boy, oh, their ambitions are clearly cosmic and interdimensional. I don't think we should expect their,
Of that you may be certain. 'Tis but a matter of time. Yet shorn of the support of our missing allies, what can we realistically hope to achieve?
Should we have noticed?
In the midst of all the excitement, I completely forgot to tell you.
I like her voice actor, actually.
When I was asking around about the Scions, I heard the most awful rumor. General Rauburn is to be executed for crimes against the Sultanate.
Oh boy, that is definitely big news to have
If
forgotten
the
to
General
share.
dies, we will lose a staunch ally, and the one man capable of holding the Sultana's assassins to account. Lord Orchiffon was wise to counsel restraint, but this
Orchiffon.
no delay.
He's truly English to say Orchiffon.
We cannot permit this execution to take place. We must save Rauburn.
What did he actually say about Orchiffon? I was so busy making fun of his pronunciation that I didn't really parse the language. You see why I have to record these. It's so difficult for me to focus on anything for any period of time. Tanaru, got anything else to say? Gosh, I hope we're not too late to save General Rauburn. I should have told you sooner about the execution, I mean. What with the trial and everything. I don't usually like doing falsettos. Not that it's uncomfortable, I just think that the result is... I mean, obviously we're doing some pretty grating voices anyway, but, you know. Alphino wishes to share his plan of action for rescuing Rauburn. If the situation calls for urgency, it would avail us little to charge headlong into Ul'dah without a plan. Before we can formulate a plan, though, we must first learn a few things. Learn how things stand in the Sultanate, which is why I propose that we visit the Limsa. Aye, you heard me right. While you were about your altruistic endeavors, I acted as an intermediary in trade negotiations between House Fortom and the Leminson Consortium. During said negotiations, an opportunity to send word to the Admiral presented itself, and I duly seized it. I am happy to report that we yet have a stout ally in Limsa. The Admiral has pledged her full cooperation in any effort to rescue Rauburn. Either that or she's fucking playing you for a fool and she's going to arrest you and or kill you on the spot as soon as you show up. I mean, you'd hope she'd know better, but you'd hope she'd know better than to do genocides, and she's sworn to do more. Accordingly, I've agreed to meet her that we might discuss how best to proceed. Naturally, I told her to expect us both. Your presence never fails to embolden our allies, after all. When you arrive in Limsa, make yourself known to Sergeant Xanthael in Bulwark Hall on the lower decks. He'll admit you to the bridge. I kind of want to pronounce the word bulwark as bulwark, but I'm pretty sure that it is bulwark. I wouldn't be shocked if there was a altmodische Aussprechung that was bulwark. Oh well, once again we failed to get a smooth transition because we were already at the closest Aetheryte. I could fake those by teleporting away and teleporting back, but no one cares. And there's plenty of examples of that flashy quick transition all over this playlist. The Admiral's been expecting you. Say the word and I will take you to her. Proceed to the bridge. Get bridged. Hello, Mervib. Oh, is she gonna have a new voice actress?
Friends, 'tis good to see you safe and well. I will admit I had not counted on you seeking, let alone finding refuge within the Holy See, but full glad was I to learn that you had.
I think that's the same voice actor, or at least a similar performance.
Thankfully, we had allies there who took us under their wing. And theirs was not the only aid we receive, I suspect. When we fled Uldar, we fully expected to become wanted men, known to all and hounded at every turn. Yet that did not come to pass. On the contrary, 'twould seem the charges against us have not been made public. Might we have you to thank for that, Admiral?
Sharp as ever, Master Alphino. On Marshal Terrapin's urging, the Elder Seed Seer and I demanded that the Syndicate suppress news of the Scion's alleged crimes until such time as irrefutable evidence could be found.
She's playing the game.
Our
Thank
argument
you.
was simple. Lacking proof, to accuse the saviors of the realm of so unlikely a crime would have the people up in arms. In their wisdom, the Syndicate agreed, as you yourself have seen.
They're willing to go through it. I guess they were hoping for a really quick,
There is
oh,
something
they
you should
died
know.
of resisting arrest
Some
situation.
few days prior to the banquet, the Elder Seed Seer and I were summoned for a private audience with the Sultana.
Yeah, we saw that, right?
There, she revealed her intent to announce her abdication, that she might pave the way for the establishment of an Uldan Republic.
Did she vouchsafe that to us in that meeting we had with her?
What? But such an announcement would have plunged the entire nation into chaos.
Oh yeah, it's so orderly now.
She was well aware of that. 'Twas for
This
fear
whole
of what might
situation here
ensue
is
that she
incredible.
summoned us. Her
That's the
Grace
over
wanted
and
the
the
Elder
under.
Seed Seer and I to lend
Right.
Rauban a helping hand, you see? To aid him in preserving the peace during the transition.
So, having somehow caught wind of her plan, Lolorito and Teleji plotted the Sultana's assassination in the hope of maintaining the constitutional status quo. But they must have known that her death would sow as much chaos as her abdication. Chaos from which Teleji alone might feasibly stand to profit. Surely Lolorito would never knowingly... Ah, could it be? I dare not hope.
He's figured it out, I think.
The Uldan authorities have yet to announce the Sultana's passing. To allay any suspicion that may arise from Her Grace's absence, they have issued a statement to the effect that she is presently convalescing from illness.
No less than the truth, in
Mayhap they're
fact.
waiting for a fitting moment to break the news. Or mayhap they know of some other reason to delay.
Something else has been bothering me, Admiral. I was dismayed to learn that General Rauban is to be executed.
Understatement of the
Upon hearing
century.
news, I could not help but wonder why he had been kept alive for so long. Pray mistake not my
Why is our
meaning.
costume
I
so
am, of
good?
course,
It's so
overjoyed that our
good.
friend still draws breath, and that he might yet be saved.
I wish we'd
But if
composed
his
it
enemies
ourselves.
truly wished to eliminate him, they could have done so immediately. I see no reason for this delay.
Unless they were looking to trap you in a rescue attempt, of course.
Aye, you've struck upon an important point, Master Alphino. Following his capture, Rauban had been held in the Marasaja pit within Uldar. In recent days, however, he has reportedly been moved to an unknown location. Queerly, 'twas not the brass blades who spirited him away either, but a band of soldiers decked in blue.
That sounds like
The Crystal Braves.
Poor Alphino,
Aye.
who
If
likes
I
being
read the
confronted
winds
with their
aright,
shame.
The arrangement between Lord Lolorito and the Braves has come under strain. At any rate, if we're to rescue Rauban, we'll have to find him first. And you'll be glad to hear that I have already entrusted the task to those best able to see it done. Our friends of Doma.
It's very funny that a Japanese developer is using the Japanese coded characters are spies trope. I mean, you know, being a spy is cool. It's not bad to be a spy. I mean, it is in real life. Also, real life spies are terrible at their jobs, these American ones. Rauban's survival is vital to the Eorzean Alliance. We can ill afford to lose him. But I cannot send troops into Uldar. 'Twould spell the end of the Alliance and war, like as not. If there is to be a rescue, it falls to you and yours to attempt it. I would not have it any other way, Admiral. It was I who founded the Crystal Braves, and I who must take responsibility for their actions. That's a little harsh. I mean, you failed, for sure. Spoken like a true leader, Master Alphino. By way of a first step, you should seek out our Doman contact. You will find her among the frontier hands at Revenant's Toll, working in a kitchen. I guess that's, Oh, what's the word she's posted there? That's her posting? The Crystal Braves may no longer answer to me, but that does not absolve me of responsibility. As commander, I am accountable for all the wrongs they've committed, all the havoc they've wreaked. I mean, that is taking a lot of weight on yourself, kiddo. Though it's useless to dwell on the past, I often wonder if I could have and should have done more for you or Rauban that day. Leaving the banquet was tantamount to leaving you and yours for dead. Should you think me craven, I wouldn't hold it against you. But I will make it up to you. This I swear. Come what may, know that the Scions of the Seventh Dawn can count on our cooperation. Would that we could join you in rescuing the Flame General, but the Sultanate would not take kindly to a foreign power on their soil, allies or no. Okay, off back to Revenant's Toll. And what has become of the Toll in our absence, do you reckon? There's a Crystal Brave standing here. What's they gonna say when we talk to them? You have some nerve showing your face here, traitor. I ought to haul you in for your crimes, and I would, except you'd tell us to put up a fight, and I've been ordered not to bring conflict into town. Our priority is to protect the people, and we can't risk innocent bystanders getting hurt. If I were to find you anywhere else, though, you'd not find me so lenient. Consider yourself warned. Yeah, well, that's how it goes, isn't it? Hey, Allison, no. Lona? Perhaps you have what it takes to become a collectibles supplier. No, that doesn't sound like it's anything to do with the storyline we're dealing with right now. Not a thing. Not a thing. Where is our Doman friend? Is the kitchen around the back? Is it above us? Is it around the side? Is it this away? No. It says it's above us. Can we go above us? Is that a thing? Ah, indeed we can. Man, this is so much faster than it could be. Lower tables would have been nice. Oh, Alpha no fucking beats us here, damn. Could she be the Doman contact of whom the Admiral spoke? Master Erwin, I knew in my heart that you were safe, but to see you again in the flesh, words cannot well express my relief. Even as the victory feast was taking place, the Crystal Braves turned upon us and took the Rising Stones by force. Amid the chaos, some few of my compatriots and I were able to slip away unnoticed. Since then, we've remained in Revenant's Toll, keeping watch over the mutineers while awaiting your return. You've done well by us, and we Domans will not soon forget our debts. We swear to do all within our power to aid you. In search of Rauban. Shortly before you arrived, I received word from Limsa Laminsa that you were searching for General Rauban. As the Admiral will have informed you, he was recently removed from his cell in the Marsaja pit. At the same juncture, Yuaze and the 3rd Unit were observed leaving the Rising Stones. This can be no simple coincidence. Their purpose, we believe, is to escort the Flame General to the scene of his execution. Suffice it to say, we have people shadowing the 3rd. If you would join the hunt, pray seek out Daware at High Bridge, where I too am bound. My comrades pursue the 3rd Unit Braves even as we speak. If you would join the hunt, pray seek out Daware at High Bridge. Yet again, our Doman friends prove their worth. Lolorito was a fool to refuse them asylum. You have to understand that capital really lacks imagination, and really prefers, yes, Okay, so here we are back in our old stomping grounds. What wonderful weather for it, too. I seem to recall there, was there severe weather going on? Man, this rain looks so good. It looks so good, damn it. It's so goddamn lovely. I have plans for the rest of the evening, but I'm kind of getting into this Igiri. It's been a while since I last wore this garb. Since I came to Revenant's Toll, my days have been spent in kitchens. Fear not, though I've learned to wield a skillet. I've not forgotten the use of a dagger. Alfino, Yuhaze. The mere mention of the name calls to mind the moment I felt the kiss of cold steel against my neck. I've been expecting you. Time is of the essence, so I shall be direct. You're cute, dude. A little uncanny from this angle, maybe. This angle's pretty good. Yuhaze and his men are bound for Halatali. We believe that this is where they intend to carry out the execution. Hosen is presently keeping watch over the entrance. Let us make haste and join him. I'd love to speak to Hosen. Nothing could bring me more pleasure. Give yourself, Hosen, to absolute pleasure. A Twitter mutual of mine was talking about, I was like, mate, don't start recording video games or you'll lose your mind like I have. And they were like, oh, I don't think I could bring the one place where I don't have to perform myself to life. I like to be able to sit around and sing while I'm playing video games. I was like, yeah, I wish there were no evidence of me singing while playing video games. Alas, Roban's ties to Halatali are well known. That Ilberd should choose this of all places in the stage his execution is no coincidence. A fiend. Are there no depths to which he will not stoop? What is this place again? What is Halatali? You come at a good time, my friends, but moments ago the traitor Ilberd arrived and entered Halatali. From this we may be certain that General Roban is being held within. I think it must be a fighting pit. That's what I seem to recall it looking like. Keeping the flame alive. There is no time to lose. General Alden may be executed at any moment. You must enter Halatali and free him from his captors. Please see to your preparations and tell me when you're ready to proceed. One of our own will accompany you inside. That won't be necessary, but the company will be appreciated for sure. Whoa, that was cool. That was cool.
Pray, forgive me my lateness.
Oh, no question.
Lady Ugiri!
Alphino just sounds kind of psyched.
I am pleased to see that the light of resolve shines in your eyes once more.
The accent is interesting. What is it a real accent, or is she just adopting an unusual mannerism?
I am ashamed to record it. For a time I was well and truly lost. But with the aid of my comrades, I have since refound my purpose, and I shall take care not to misplace it again.
Since your escape from Ulda, my fellow shinobi and I have shadowed the Crystal Braves every step, in hopes of learning the Scion's whereabouts. Regrettably, our investigation has yet to yield any useful information. Pray, forgive us.
You don't usually have that comma after a pray delivery, but yeah, it's a speech habit, I guess.
Besides, Ralban is no less a friend, and we cannot well abandon him to his fate.
I guess doing it once makes it sound like bad delivery, but doing it several times makes it sound like a
The three of us shall attend to
speech
the
pattern.
Flame General's rescue. Pray, draw away the guards by the entrance. Take Dowade and Higiri with you.
See, I would say pray draw away the guards by the entrance, not pray draw away the guards. Whoa, Kavanish. Very interested in the way that sentences are spoken aloud. If the 1,000 hours of reading, 1,000 hours of narration on this channel haven't given that away. Just checking how loud that click had to be to register on the microphone. Hey, it's all our friends. One moment. Take the lead, Erwin. I shall follow close behind you, close upon you. Cool. Oh, wait, I do know where this is, because this is one of the fucking dungeons, right? Unfortunately, we can't go look, but yeah, we have done this on the duty roulette many times. Many times. Every time it rains. What did he say? You'll not get lost? I don't know what he said. It matters but little. Let's just take these boys down. Away with you. Actually, I think for 2 targets, my single target rotation is higher DPS. But that's fine. Let's finish our AoE rotation. I think that second hit's probably worth getting in when you're ready to do it. It's all so sparkly. If it didn't look so goddamn good, it would suck. Alas, it really does. Lacerating Arrow, Venomous Bite, Crystal Brave Lancer, and Conjurer. Get him! But I don't want to be get.
Leave this to me.
I want to do the getting. The one thing that I have not come to terms with in Final Fantasy XIV is that the ability queuing is very short. I really wouldn't mind if I press 1 and then 2 immediately, it waits and then executes 2. You really have to hit it in the last like half second to the global cooldown, or even less than that maybe. It's sort of tricky on healers because the way healers seem to work, their bread and butter spells are actually shorter than the global cooldown in cast. This isn't where we came from, is it? This isn't where we came from, is it? No, it is not. There is a fancy blue shield over there, containing 1 disgraced, dismembered general. The general, but where is captors? I mislike the look of this. General. You came. You're a voice for Raban, really. We haven't parceled out our voices very wisely. We use certain voices a lot on various characters who are all kind of a certain kind. We had a couple characters with really good voices. He is bound by some manner of Magitech device, yet I dare not force it open. It may well be booby-trapped. I've heard of such devices. The Crystal Braves will possess the key. Let us split up and look for it. We have 1 indestructible wrecking ball. That will not be necessary. Pray do not take it personally, my friends. You are the victims of harsh economic conditions. That's a good line. Happily, you will not suffer for long. This poison will convey you swiftly unto the bosom of Thal, where I hope to join you after the passing of many prosperous years. Can't believe I stumbled over such a good line. Let's cut this boy down. Was half expecting the way they kind of looked up there for there to be a tank dropping from the ceiling in classic Final Fantasy style. Farewell, my friends. Oh, do try and relax. They tell me struggling only makes it worse. Confound it, the mist stifles my healing. We gotta destroy the portcullis. Don't leave me. Save yourselves. We cannot let them escape. Arrow and force the gate. Well, if there's one thing I'm good at, it's bending bars and opening locks. Beasts, the mists must be drawn to them. Ha! The way is clear. The mist must be drawing them, not drawn to them. Man. The mist remains. We must stop it at the source. Let us go to a fog halt. I shall tend to the general. Pray see to the mist and the key. The Braves have the key. But is it over this way, or is it up the other way? Is it back the way we came? Ah, yeah, probably down in that, I believe there's a boss off to the side in this dungeon. It's probably in that gallery. Oh, no, that does not look right. Raban is slipping away. Where should we be going, though? I need a little bit more direction on this. I'd just stop and look. Oh, he's actually recovering. Or is it that when it hits 100 he dies? I think that may be how it works, actually. Hey, the presence of enemies suggests we are going the right way. Down the slimes. The unsurpassed king of slime designs remains the Lufia franchise, which you might play someday. Probably just the first 2. The games, I'm not familiar with it, most of the games after that. I guess I know some of the ones that were on the Game Boys. They turned into like 3D action games, which I'd probably enjoy playing a little more, but yeah, I don't know. Lufia 2 in particular is kind of as I recall, I was a child last time I touched it. An intricate, not even intricate, but just a story with some interesting twists and charming characters. That's my childhood anime game. Only had the one. Well, I hear a hissing, which sounds promising. There we go. Yeah, that's cool. Actually being able to find where we're going by sound. How often's that happened in this game, or even any game? Come on, Sleemos. Do you need to be smashed? Yes, you need to be smashed. Oh, we didn't need to hit fight or flight there, huh? Oh, his vitality is going down and up. Okay, so she's healing him, but he is dying. Fast blade. Yeah, that's right. That takes care of the mist. Yeah, it does. The mist has cleared. Speak with Hosen. Next to find the key and free Ramban. Is this air? No, okay, this is a different direction this time. Alright. How did they survive the poison? Yeah, we should not have blown our cooldown back there. It's fine. Bah! It was like we'll just have to finish the job. That does sound likely. Why don't you come right close and we can together explore that possibility. Don't cast that heal, ma'am. Thank you. I see a key. Identification key. I wonder if you can get away with just killing that one, then sprinting back. So I bet Roban's vitality is only going to be going up now, huh? The key! Take it to Roban! This is a dire place that we are wandering through, don't you think? Seems pretty serious to me. Also feel like the color scheme is different than it is in that dungeon version, but that might be. Who knows? The lighting does feel different. I just turned on my... There we go. I turned on the HDR on the monitor, and it was just turned the screen red, and that was because Flux was on. Let me compare what it looks like with Flux off. Yeah, it's way darker, but it's just so much richer. It really is quite beautiful, even if it is kind of surreal. Like, this is super blown out. This is quite blown out. Well, not illegibly so, which is the main thing. Okay, well, we've now walked back through this. Well, Spider, my man. Hey, friends. Sort of a underdesigned portion of this encounter, the walk back to the device, but, you know, I guess it had to be done. Zoop. My thanks. Slowly, General, you are yet weak from your ordeal. Nevertheless, we must quit this place. I should have known. What a clever contrivances to the Warrior of Light. Well done, hero. Ilburned. You mean to struggle on, then? Very well. If you would stand in my way, I will cut you down like all the rest. Come, science. Let's get this over with. Sure, buddy. I love to get it over with. The Sultana's assassins are here. Crystal Braves. 2 arms. Whatever it takes to survive. Those Yuheis, I guess. Uhaze. I am no hero, never was, and never will be. Yeah, the Woods Whaler, of course he's using a spear. My strength has left me. I was thinking about how it's like, should he be a Darth Vader? He's the dragon, and there he goes with I have you now.
It is nothing.
Ilburned. Get fucked. Rude boy.
I'm not finished yet.
You're pretty close to finish, though. Be real with yourself. I'd call that a win. Ooh, bats.
This changes nothing.
Nothing. This changes in the end. You lack the stomach, the agony that you bring upon yourself. Oh, hang on. Didn't know autoplay going. I could have waited for a long time there.
It is over, Ilberd. Lay down your arms and surrender yourself to justice.
Become well, bird.
Justice? Justice for what exactly? 'Twas not I who assassinated the Sultana, boy.
I don't believe for a second that you believe that, dude.
Ere we debate
I've
who
seen
is
your face.
responsible for the assassination, I would ask whether an assassination took place at all.
Oh, clever little shite.
If you think you fight for justice, lad, you'd best wake up. The truth is, you fight for whoever bloody well tells you to.
Guilty.
Can you not see you're being used by the Scions, the city-states, even the Crystal Braves? They none of them care a whit what you want, only what you can do for them.
You have to understand, I have no way of manifesting desire in this world other than to do other people's bidding.
Same. A pawn to be used as my masters see fit. All I ever wanted was to liberate my homeland, and I ate dirt to make it happen. But what have I achieved after all these years in servitude? Nothing. Not a bloody thing.
Are we ever gonna do anything about Alamigo? Cause there's no expansion where you go to Alamigo as its premise.
Free to think and to act. How are we ever to reclaim our homeland? Know this. There is nothing I would not give to take back Alamigo. Nothing!
That's a little extreme. I mean, it's just a place. Remember Dark Souls. Remember the words of Lucatiel. Remember that
You'll not get away!
there are certain things that if you do them to preserve who you are, you become someone else.
No, Master Alphino. Now is not the time.
What is up with the deliberate way she speaks? I don't quite get it. Maybe it's meant to imply that she learned the language from books and not from people, but certainly she articulates very clearly.
I'm but a cripple and a fool. And still you came for me. And when you're dead.
It's a very harsh way to look. Everybody's down on
We're all of us
themselves.
fools of fate, General. But even fools have a part to play.
Wise words from Leveer. We stand with you. More on your feet, gladiator. This fight is not over. I think this is really what he needs to hear, but this is more our style. He doesn't need to fight. You don't need to be useful to be worthwhile.
Till it avenged the Sultana. Still, your words are welcome, lad.
I like that Alphino has no evidence that the Sultana is still alive, but he's out here being like, I'm not so sure she's dead.
Ilberd, there is nothing I would not give to see you pay for what you've done. My wealth, my arm, my life. Nothing.
You're down 2 of 3,
General,
buddy.
Are you aware that Lord Lolorito has yet to announce the Sultana's death to the public?
Oh.
No. No, I was not aware of that, nor of anything else outside my cell. 'Tis passing strange, though.
Yeah, apparently days have been passing.
The bastard would make it known at the first opportunity, and set about tearing down the Sultanate.
It was probably several months in real time, but the game moves slower than
As
real
did we
time.
all. And it is indeed strange that he did not. Strange, or perhaps revealing. Now, I have no conclusive proof, nor do I wish to give you false hope, but I have reason to believe that her grace may yet live.
What? But how can that be?
Forgive me, friends, but it is not safe here. Let us continue this conversation without...
Yeah, that sounds good to me. I've just seen some very powerful tweets. Wait, I can actually show this. One moment, one moment. Okay, what's the best way to do this? Let's pull this up. Let's hide our bookmarks bar. Let's turn on this. Dude. I can't really adjust the size of this image. Oh, hush. Discord, shut the fuck up. Had a stupid idea, and now you have to live with the knowledge that Trant Rosner is a thing. Pretty hat machine. Very powerful stuff. Anyway, what were we talking about? The fate of the realm? That sounds about right. What was that? Everything's still good? Yes, everything's still good. Oh shit, I've been muted as well. Haha. Benilbert and his minions have fled via some other egress. Scour the perimeter for signs of their passing. At once, my lady. Well, who the fuck are you, dark stranger? General Alduin, I presume, and the signs of the seventh dawn. Who are you? Identify yourself. Pray do not be alarmed. My mistress is a friend, and I come bearing a message of goodwill. For your own safety, she bade me direct your steps to the Waking Sands. Know that Master Rianger awaits you there, along with others sympathetic to your cause. This is no ruse, I assure you. Well, that sounds like what a ruse-smith would say. General Alden, if you will come with me, I prepared a carriage that you may travel in comfort, safe from prying eyes. It is funny that he's the only one who ended up being, like, wanted. He looks so incomplete. Yep. Man, the delays between cuts in all of these games is just the real killer. It's the one thing that these games can't manage that movies can. Just smooth. I mean, movies, of course, these days tend toward extremely short cuts that are super disorienting, but we have the opportunity for long cuts with quick reactions here. I've spoken with Rianger via Link Pearl. He confirms the man's story. Roban is in safe hands. Let's make our own way to Vesper Bay. I don't remember what this is about. Why don't we actually go to Waking Sands together? I won't cut out the trip. Alas, the Waking Sands counter is no longer part of this Final Fantasy XIV scene in OBS, so I can't increment it. What was the final count? It was lower than you would have thought, right? It was like 13, or was it more like 20? The numbers 13 and 17 are in my mind. Lovely to be seeing the old stomping grounds again. I think this is going to happen several times through the expansion. Then we're going to come back and rescue with this group or the other of our friends. So what were the other groups? The other groups were Thancred and Ishtola, and then Papalimo and Ida. That was as much as anything me forcing myself to remember their names, because it is such a fucking struggle with this boy. He simply cannot do it. He's bad with the name remembering. You just assume that my memory in general is bad. Ooh.
Praise be unto the 12 for delivering you from the clutches of treachery.
Well, what happened to Gideon Emery? You're still Gideon Emery when we voice you, dick. Oh, it's Pippin. Hey.
Pippin, my son.
My son.
And Master Papashan besides.
Papashan. Wait,
Forgive me,
who's
Father.
Papashan?
I should have been at Her Grace's side.
It's a familiar name, but...
Save your tears. The Sultana yet lives.
Ooh. The first hit for Papashan is,
It was
The
I
Godfather.
who arranged this gathering. And judging by your perplexed expressions, it would seem introductions are in order. I am Dulala, head of the Order of Noldthor, and member of the Syndicate.
What you said about the Sultana, is it true? Is she alive?
I don't know if I like the Syndicate being here. There are no
man,
good owners.
I understand you were with the Sultana when she drank from the poisoned goblet and collapsed. Would I be correct in assuming that you did not personally verify Her Grace's vital signs?
Oh, we sat like a statue in the chair opposite, did not react in any way, as I recall.
You know the answer.
Calm yourself, General, and let me finish. The truth is not as you imagine it. You are all victims of a most ingenious ruse. A ruse conceived to eliminate the threat posed by Teleji Adeleji.
Well, that is most definitely complete.
That Teleji plotted the Sultana's assassination alone, but that Lolorito caught wind of his plot and exploited it to his own ends.
This is very generous to Lolorito, ma'am, to think that he's not just a rank traitor as well.
Eliminating Teleji for him, and you duly obliged. At one fell swoop, he removed his two foremost rivals, all the while remaining above suspicion.
There we go. So not suggesting that he is
Down for a fool.
a magnanimous person.
The Sultana? How can it be that she lives?
She lives because Lolorito willed it. Her own lady-in-waiting is but one of his many little birds. By her sleight of hand, the poison was switched for a less deadly draught before it could reach her mistress's lips.
The poisoned apple.
Some manner of sedative, perchance, of a potency sufficient to induce a slumber like unto death.
Were I to guess, I would say Her Grace is being held somewhere, dreaming dreams of a brighter Uldar, even as we speak.
Man, what a fucking miserable fate to have to think about your job in your dreams.
I will never forgive Lolorito for his part in this.
I should probably check on my job. I was out today. As usual, Friday's the back half of the year.
Lolorito's hands are far from clean. They did pluck Her Grace from the jaws of death. That must count for something. And though one may call the man's methods into question, it cannot be denied that he knows the value of stability, to the very gill, like as not. He craves power, 'tis true, but he has no desire to depose the Sultana.
Yeah, but she does have a desire to strip him of power, or at least so she claims.
With the monetarists. But it was not for want of concern for our nation's welfare. Indeed, 'twas out of the desire to see order restored that I furnished your Far Eastern friends with information and arranged this gathering.
Yeah, because what you value is your own material well-being and your holdings, to which you contribute nothing more than scheming yourself.
I hope you are ready to work, General, for there is much work to be done. Our first priority must be to bring matters back into balance. Lest you forget Her Grace's words, the true wealth of Uldar lies in the health, happiness, and hopes of her people.
So you'll be converting all of your businesses into co-ops, right?
I am content to let Lolorito help himself to whatever Teleji Adeleji left behind.
Great, so instead of two monopolists, we'll now have just the one.
Do that which you alone can do. Rescue Her Grace and take your place at her side once more, for her sake and that of our nation.
People talking about whether South Park is liberal or not. South Park is liberal in the very broad sense, not just in the sort of capital L liberal sense, but it is liberal in that sense of liberals who consider themselves to be sensible people and who reject anything that they consider to be not sensible, which of course involves being horrible to anyone who is hoping to bring attention to a problem that is not considered one of the sensible to address problems. I have not watched a lot of South Park, almost none, so I shouldn't speak too much. The world's gone mad indeed when its saviors are branded criminals. Your dear sister would be turning in her grave. Wait, she would be turning in her grave, so is she dead? Wait, is she dead? So she's not dead. She's fine? She wasn't one of the people who was slaughtered here back when. I had not counted on Prioress Dulala herself appearing. In my defense, my suspicions regarding the Sultana proved more prescient. Yeah, you're pretty sharp on that one, boyo. You're lucky you know the writers. Much remains to be done, but in rescuing Ralban, we've taken a vital first step toward resolving matters in Ul'dah. We couldn't have done it without you, Erwin. Thank you. Well, we're over an hour now, but I'm still feeling pretty good, and it's still relatively early. I think I'd like to be done by the hour, but that is still a ways away. To siege, or not to siege, Alphino is distracted by a call on his link pearl. Pick up the pearl, boy. Pick up the pearl. Hello? Tataru. Oh, wait, hang on. Oh, shit, stop. God damn it. What? Another assault? Very well, we shall return at once. Pray notify the Count of our coming. It would seem we face another crisis. The Dravanians are preparing to resume their siege of the Holy See. Though I am loath to abandon the Sultana to her fate, we lack the necessary evidence to act upon Dulala's claims. That being the case, I propose we leave Marshal Tarabin and the others to investigate, and return with all haste to Ishgard. Sure, let's get up there. Let's ride. Hello, Tataru. Let's bounce, why don't we? Ready to go? Oh, damn it. Didn't do our good cut. Fuck, I was all ready for it. Alphino. Let us see what the Count has to say. Ah, there you are. Sorry for cutting your reunion with General Ralban short. I wouldn't have bothered you, but the city's awash with rumors of another Dravanian attack, and Lord Orshvan was desperate to get hold of you. Speaking of whom, he and the others are waiting for you inside, so you'd better head in. What else you got to say? We can talk later. Everyone's waiting for you inside. Welcome, Master Erwin. Let's step inside then. Hot-ass dragon. Voiced or unvoiced. My friend, I thank you for answering our call with such alacrity. As I am sure you are now aware, the Dravanians are once more gathering for war. Master Erwin, Master Leveilleur, I must apologize for this abrupt summons, but we thought it best to have Mr. Tataru contact you by the most direct methods available. When the Observatorium's bell tolls out, it is a warning that cannot be ignored. The Holy See has ordered that we make ready for battle. In case you haven't heard, a band of trappers returning from the west claim they saw a cloud of dragons big enough to dim the midday sky. The dog's minions gather once again for war. Not Cowdy, he's a dignified Frenchman. But I would not have you take up arms in another of our conflicts. When first you came to Ishgard, I offered you my protection. If I cannot ensure your safety, I cannot well accept your aid, much less ask for it. Scions of the Seventh Dawn, you are faced with a choice, to remain in besieged Ishgard or seek sanctuary elsewhere. I would not presume to influence your decision, but I must ask that you make it swiftly, lest our enemies force your hand. Well, I don't actually know what we're gonna do with that. What's everybody else got to say? The coming of the Horde spells ruin for Ishgard, but her knights shall fight to the last to shield their citizens from harm, or at least the wealthy. The Observatorium bells have tolled. Either flee this place or make ready for war. Man. How many dragons would it take to darken the midday sky, do you think? 1,000? More? Too many at any rate. You worried about it? How narrowly did we avoid a grievous miscarriage of justice? Full glad am I that the Fury blessed you with the strength to overcome your foes. Yeah, it was definitely her, and not just general kind of godhood pouring into me. Praise Haloni, the Master Alphino and Mistress Tataru did not come to harm, so these dudes are a little behind the times. This window is so blown out and bright in this HDR mode, it's very funny. Like a floodlight. Do we talk to the Count? I confess, I know not where else you might see sanctuary, but few places are like to be more perilous than a city under siege. Well, nobody said we were actually criminators, so we could just leave. We could just go. What will become of this place, and us? Though we flee to the ends of the world, it would seem that no place in this troubled age is free of strife. Once more the horde descends upon Ishgard, and once more our weary defenders must take up spear and bow. The Count would have us seek shelter from this storm, but I for one grow tired of running. If we are to shine the light of dawn, we must do so in the sight of our fellow man, not hunkered in a hole. What say you, Erwin? I guess I'll stay and fight. Then fight we shall. Let it never be said that we abandon our allies in their hour of need. Yeah, no way. Alpha knows a way. The choice we make this day may have grave implications for our order. It is only right that Tataru should have a say. Come, let us all meet outside and discuss the path that lies before us. Dude, you could really just put a big sword in my hand. I could use a gun. Should I use a gun? I mean, we could use a gun. Oink. We could use that gun. I mean, we're lower level with the gun. Probably gonna level sync us anyway, though, so let's just use the gun. Why not? Tataru will become this place and us. What's the story?
Ishgard cannot well endure another assault. Even should her knights succeed in turning back the horde, the casualties will be catastrophic.
Yeah.
But what other choice do we have? It's not like we can talk it over with them. Dragons and men aren't exactly on speaking terms.
With certain notable exceptions.
Ooh, we know a dragon fuckler, don't we?
You don't mean Iceheart?
Well, we've got an in with her. We're
When
Echo
last you spoke with her, she lamented
Sisters.
her crimes, did she not?
Apparently so. She didn't seem happy about the attack on
Then there
Ishgard's
remains a
people.
sliver of hope. If we can persuade Iceheart to act as our intermediary, we may yet be able to convince Nidhogg to abandon his bloody course.
If there is to be a meeting, I would accompany you.
Estinian.
Oh no, it's him.
With your intermediary,
Finally, he's
Nidhogg's
here.
blood rage may render him deaf to reason. However, the mere attempt may afford our forces precious time to prepare.
Yeah, that's... Oh, shit.
We might also
Just skip a line, did
more
we?
direct approach to ending this conflict. With the power of the Eye at my disposal,
Our disposal,
and the vaunted
dingus.
strength of the Warrior of Light, we could conceivably slay the beast outright.
I mean...
If we are to risk a face-to-face meeting with the Dread Worm, I for one would feel safer in the company of the Azure Dragoon. However, I should only turn to your lance if my words failed to find their mark. Is that clear?
Perfectly. I shall assume that Iceheart enjoys similar diplomatic protection until instructed otherwise.
But I'll be thinking about it. I'll be imagining ways. 10 ways to kill everyone in the room.
This plan to Sir Emeric. 'Twould not do to have the Lord Commander accused of consorting with heretics.
Not to worry, we can compartmentalize.
Indeed.
Think of us as a cell of the
Thank you for
dumbs.
your counsel, Estinian. We shall be honored to have you with us.
The CIA ions are back in business.
I'm glad to be of service.
Look how cute we are, just looking up at this doofus. We've chosen a difficult road. Oh, god damn it, shut the no! Well, we'll never know now. Chosen a difficult road, even should we succeed, there's problems. Tataru, I would ask you to remain in Fort Tom Manor and inform the Count of our decision. Tell him that the signs of the Seventh Dawn mean to do all in their power to ensure that Ishgard and her people survive. Yes, sir. Put on a shirt, Alpha now. Enter the seat of the Lord Commander within the congregation of our Knights Most Heavenly. I thought we were not going to be telling them about what we were doing. Was that not a thing? Was the plan not to tell them? I thought the plan was to play coy. I guess we're talking to somebody. The Forgotten Knight. You the Lord Commander in the Congregation of the Halls Most Heavenly. This is right next to this bar, huh? You got a bar over here and the Congregation of our Knights Most Heavenly over there. Temple Night Guard. You would speak with the Lord Commander? Pray make it quick. Why do we need to talk to him at all? I'd love to see you, boy.
I want the defenses of the outer ward rechecked. See to it that the ballistas are in good repair.
See to it that they're in
enough
good repair.
ammunition for a prolonged siege.
There will be no siege. I will siege to it.
At once, my lord.
Don't worry, you don't need to prep for anything.
And unlike those massing beyond our walls, these ones are welcome.
Yeah, he loves my company, see? You're amassing behind his walls. I'm delivering news of a covert operation to him. We are not the same.
To speak plain, we believe there is a chance the invasion might be halted before it even begins.
This is a pretty big if. Oh!
I can divulge
Clown
little more at
face.
this time, but I must nevertheless request that you advise the Holy See to refrain from launching any preemptive sorties whilst we seek to put our plans in motion.
I will gladly lend my support to any endeavor that could spare the blood of my countrymen, but I would know more of the cause you would have me champion. Will you not share aught of this mysterious undertaking?
I mean, do you want to know?
That I have offered my lance to aid in this endeavor. I cannot claim that its success is assured, but our actions should serve to delay Nidhogg's advance at the very least.
It's unkind, but I hate him so much more, knowing what's under that helmet.
Conceived counterattack advocated by the sea's more vocal crusaders. They offer glorious death, but little hope of victory.
It's me, little hope of victory.
Aye. Their proposal does not inspire confidence. Our resources should rightly be spent shoring up the city's defenses. The Azure Dragoon and the Warrior of Light sallying forth together to face the dread worm Nidhogg. I must admit the mere thought of it does much to dispel my misgivings. Go then, carry out your plan. I shall do what I can for you within the Holy See.
Once again, just cursed tweets getting in the way of any kind of commentary. But hey, we know my thoughts on Emmerich. So hard to focus on anything he's saying anyway. Not that he doesn't have our full attention. Estinian! I will say this for your plan. It has made keeping secrets from the Holy See seem almost entertaining. Comedy Frenchman. Here he is. Having secured Sir Emmerich's support, we may proceed without fear of a preemptive Ishgardian attack, which is not to say we can afford to dither. History tells us that the Dravanians will attack as soon as their horde reaches a critical size. Before that happens, we must needs track down and win over the Lady Iceheart, and then locate and parley with Nidhogg. In short, time is against us. If you are ready, Estinian, let us be about our task. Yeah, boy. Let's be about our task. Distant wind sound. Very still here.
Such commotion.
Yeah, I've been commoded.
Yes, Your Eminence. The bells of the observatorium warn of our enemy's approach.
Shouldn't we be able to hear those bells? It seems like it would have been a nice touch.
Let them come.
It's a great painting.
Hundreds and their thousands. With the divine blade in our hands, we shall rend their flesh and drown the heretics in their master's blood. Even Nidhogg and his foul brood shall be powerless to resist us.
I'm getting the feeling these guys might be a little bit.
Their pestilence, we shall turn our attention to our Asian allies. See that they are suitably rewarded for their invaluable assistance.
Why, that sure sounds sinister.
If I may, Your Eminence, the Paragons wield powers strange and unknowable. Can we be certain that they will not see through our deception?
So you hear the music's really low again. I don't know.
We can be certain of naught save the righteousness of our cause. If you would be a true leader of men, you must possess conviction as well as caution.
More platitudes, please, from Beardy in the back.
We seek to excise the root of an evil that has blighted us for 1,000 years. The risk is worth the reward.
Well, I mean, I guess that might be the outcome, depending on how things go. I don't know how this story is going to shake out.
And this warrior of light, they have plans of their own.
Leave them to their purpose. We must each play the role we have been given. You and your chosen brothers most of all.
Barclays? Oh, I think that they may be in it. Oh no, spooky boys. The Knights of the Round. I will say these for your plan. Yeah, I've heard that one. Andalou. En chien andalou. A great many of our ballistas are beyond repair. They'll be sorely missed when the beating of leathern wings fills the skies above Ishgard. Volsane. Reports of Dravanian assaults hammer us down without cease. I fear keeping record of the destruction will soon be an impossible task. Well, you managed to keep up your stubborn-ass genocidal ways for 1,000 years, and I guess you should be proud of that? Big question mark? Or maybe. I mean, why not? Save that. Let's actually recopy this over. It's a little odd that it's... Oh, it's just that it doesn't share them, right? Oh, so yeah, I should just do this with 1 and 2, really. Oop. Oop. Well, hang on. The whole point here was that I was actually going to turn them on. And just turn off the additionals. Get the powder gauge down. Boop. Boop. There we go. Because I don't know this class very well. What level am I? Am I 60 or 70? 60. In search of Iceheart, Alphino will see to one final matter before setting forth. Before we set forth, we must needs inform Tataru of our plans. Then I shall await you at Saint Ranet's Forum. Tell your friend we may be sometime. The road you have chosen is neither short nor easy. Of that I need no reminding. Come, Erwin, let us head back to Fort Tom Manor. Return to Fort Tom Manor. We didn't really need to go back there, did we? I mean, this wasn't a necessary step of all this. I don't think so. That's my feelings. Could really have just bipped us bop back there. In fact, it would have made perfect sense for us to awaken there after the cutscene that we cut away to, right? I mean, that's a perfect cover for the transition anyway. I just like it when these things are, you know, thoughtfully designed. This is a little bit thoughtless. Gatekeep, let me through. I am indeed welcome. Our course is set, Tataru. Maybe sometime before Erod and I can return to Ishgard. Yep, we're off to the adventure. Well, just you be careful, alright? And don't worry about me. I'll be busy listening out for news of our lost friends. If anyone can find them, it's you, Tataru. Farewell now. Oh, before you go, you must put this on, Alphino. I made it specially. No, I couldn't possibly. Very well. He's wearing a shirt at last! By the 12, it fits perfectly, and the quality is actually rather good. Glad you like it. I've been practicing my needlework while I listen to rumors and the like podcasts. Good receptionist is always learning new skills. My thanks, Tanaru. Whatever else awaits me on the road, I shall not fear the cold. 'Twas the least I could do. Now I must be getting back to the tavern, or I'll never catch up with all the gossip. Best of luck on your journey. Uh-huh. Then it is settled. Then we are decided. Who all you still could be just happy that our buddies. Oh, you still here, Master Erwin? I was under the impression that you'd already embarked upon your journey. How about the other steward? These men unworthy of names. 'Tis in the very face of fire and ruin that one must remain calm and collected. Okay, we gotta go talk to Stinian. He is outside. The pillars. The pillars of Nosgoth. That's something that's waiting in our future somewhere. Soul Reaver, Blood Omen playthrough. Those games are pretty fucking good. I'm a big fan of Soul Reaver 1 and Blood Omen. Soul Reaver 2 is a little weak. Blood Omen 2 is really cool, and there's a lot of good stuff in there. Oh, balls. Which one was it we needed to go to? I remember not liking Defiance very much, and it doesn't run very well. Skysteel Manufacturing. But I mean, it run, like from a graphical perspective, I think it runs okay, although it may be crashy, but it doesn't handle controllers all that well. Probably figure something out. This new attire will serve me well in the bitter cold of Kurthus. I shall have to thank Tataru properly upon our return. I've been telling you to put a fucking shirt on, boyo. You have said your farewells, then. We are ready to depart. I suggest we begin our search for Lady Iceheart without delay. Very well, but she will prove an elusive quarry. Where do you intend to start looking? In the absence of any fresh intelligence on Izala's movements, I propose we pick up the trail where she was encountered last, the Kurthus Western Islands. Let us speak with Sir Redwald, was it? As the commander of Falcon's Nest, it is like that he will know if any heretic activity has been reported in the area. Estinian. Okay, just gotta go over to Falcon's Nest like this. Not even a cut. Graceless. I can fly here conveniently. Dursene, what have you got to say? Ishgard's proud standard flies over Falcon's Nest once more. Same thing you said last time, isn't it? Dr. Redwall. Well, well, Master Erwin, what brings you back to Falcon's Nest? Judging by the company you keep, it can be no trifling matter. The Azure Dragoon I know, of course, but I do not believe I've met this young gentleman. Alpha Olivia at your service. And you are not mistaken as to the gravity of our mission, Sir Redwald. As I am sure you are aware, the Observatorium has warned the Dravanians gather for another assault. I believe there may yet be a way to avert the coming conflict, but only if we can find the elusive Lady Iceheart. Thus, if we come to Falcon's Nest in hope of acquiring the latest intelligence on the heretics' movements. I see. Then you'll be best served by speaking directly to my men. A patrol is due to return from its sweep of the surrounding lands at any moment. You may also wish to question the knights assigned to pick over the remains of the heretic refuge at Gorjanya Mills. It is possible they've unearthed information that could be of use to you. Master Erwin knows well the place I speak of, for it was he who first discovered it. Let us divide our forces then. I will stay and await the return of patrol while the two of you visit this refuge. When I have completed my inquiries, I will join you there. Je te rejoins là. A wise use of our time. Come, Erwin, I'm eager to learn what Sir Redwald's men have found in the heretic's lair. Après d'avoir questionné la garde. Redwald. Heretics and Dravanians are bad enough, but this blasted weather is something else. Als ich das nicht richtig gesagt habe. Lass mir mal es besser sagen. Jetzt. I wanted it in that now. Very chill out here. Very serene. Is this more polished up than it was before? That'd be pretty cool if it were. I don't know if it was the same time of day when we were here before. Tiermont, got anything else to say? Beautiful, isn't it? Spitting image Aldrith, first of the Azure Dragoons and one of Ishgard's founding fathers. Yeah, not really a good person, not a good guy. You shouldn't really be building statues to him, and it's really pretty bad. There is, well, look at those, the glow of those blues on those devils. What kind of devils are they? Can't even target them from here. Bergator. Digen in Bergen. Upland Milodan. Füßen stampfen in den Erden. German poetry is very satisfying. German poetry is a lot like English poetry, in that the rhythmic structures of the languages are not wildly dissimilar. The way French does not have tonality in the same way that English and German do, where there's a definite syllable that needs stressing in words, which means poetry is much less metered generally. In my experience, I'm sure that there's metered poetry out there. I find it a lot less satisfying and very hard to write. I can write German poetry though. Just a simple farmhouse makes one wonder what the other innocent facades the heretics might have chosen behind. Whoa, makes one wonder what other facades the innocent facades the heretics may have chosen to hide behind. Holy shit. Master Arwen, our findings, you say? Well, there is something of a tale there. No sooner had we chanced upon a promising-looking sheaf of letters than we were ambushed by the shadows of great white beasts. It would seem the heretics foresaw our coming and left behind their pets to discourage further investigation. Several of our number were badly wounded, and you cannot carry out their duties until the creatures are slain. We have no time to wait for reinforcements. Let us deal with these pets ourselves. Master Arwen. He would have said long point. We've totally failed to live up to that conceit of our titles. They just had fucking polar bears. Oh dear, the creature took me by surprise. Forgive me, until my hands stop shaking, I fear I shall prove more a hindrance than a help. Pray on ahead, and when you are certain that the rest of these things have been slain, notify the expedition leader that it is safe to return. Yeah, you're scared of bears for now. Give it 10 years or so, and you'll come to understand their appeal. Holy shit. That's a very, very large animal to just be parked in a basement. Tamed warbear and polar bear. Will they not aggro on us even in melee range? Okay, they will. Fine. Oh, right. We're not the paladin. I forgot. 'Tis enough. 'Twill serve. Looking in the... Oh no, expedition leader is going to be outside. Fortunately, this is not World of Warcraft, and we can happily mount in basements. Anything else to say, Alphana? I heard a frightful growling down below. You encountered more of the beasts, I take it. Oh, did I, kiddo? Yeah. Estinian, you're here. My inquiries availed me not. The patrol leader had little to say beyond which of his extremities the frost had beaten the hardest. The beasts are slain then. My thanks, Master Arwen. We may return to our duty without fear of a mauling. From one heretic to another, the expedition leader has a promising lead to aid you in your search for Lady Iceheart. You wish to track down Lady Iceheart, is that not so? The records we discovered ere these beasts mauled my comrades appeared to be some manner of correspondence. We had not the luxury of perusing their contents more closely, intent as we were on surviving an onslaught of fang and claw, but I'd wager those epistles contain more than friendly salutations betwixt lonely heretics. My interrogation of the patrol proved fruitless. Either we divine some clue from these letters, or we wander the snowfields and pray that the gods lead us right to Iceheart's door. 'Tis hardly a choice at all. Even if I do despise the act of reading, I will in this case make a concession because it may lead me to a dragon's heart, which I can ram directly and... Anyway, never mind. Never mind. Let's find our pistols. From one heretic to another is a good name for anything. God damn it. Wait, show me the key items. What appears to be a record of past correspondence held between individuals regarded as heretics by the Holy See. Do we really need to come back down here? Why don't we talk to Alvino down here and see a little frame? Where are these damnable pages? I'd rather battle two score revis than continue this confounded search. Now, the letters were in a neat pile just here, but would seem the skirmish with the beasts has scattered them rather thoroughly. I found a few of these letters. Let us gather a respectable stack and see what secrets the expedition captain can wring from the collected correspondence. Correspondence, said the thunder. I really gotta go delete those old Fallen London videos. They are not they lack a certain dignity that the sober are able to muster, that the drunk and hungover have difficulty doing. Have you recovered much of the heretics' correspondence? Yeah, super blown out. Splendid. Added to the contributions from Master Leveilleur and Celestinian, we now have more than a dozen letters. Oh, really? So they both found more than I did. What have we here, then? Every one of these pages is a record of the dealings betwixt the Gorgon Mill heretics and their fellows in the Akafa Amphitheater. There are requests for foodstuffs, clothing, and all manner of provisions. Isart's followers must yet inhabit the ruins we thought abandoned. Could well be. Alfindo, sounding out the amphitheater, he seems intent on traveling to the Akafa Amphitheater. The Akafa Amphitheater, the very place where you witnessed the manifestation of the primal Shiva, was it not? If that is our destination, the journey will be long indeed. The amphitheater lies on the other side of a treacherous tract of ice and snow that cannot swiftly be crossed. Then we must place our faith in the Ethernet. As you may recall, our dear friend Brida succeeded in recreating the Akafa beacon after it had been destroyed by Lady Iceheart. At the time, it was assumed the resultant aetherite would only be temporarily viable, but given the heretics of Gorgania Mills seemed to still have been in regular contact with their brethren at the amphitheater, I'd wager it still functions. I suggest we make for the aetherite within Snowcloak without delay. Correct me if I'm wrong, Istidian, but in the course of mapping the Snowcloak tunnel system, a passage was discovered leading out into the Western Highlands, was it not? Might it be possible for us to reach the aetherite from this side of the wall? It should. As the Ondeur posted soldiers at the Western Highlands entrance after the tunnels were cleared, but they cannot deny us entry. In my experience, the people of Kurthus can deny you anything. Do you mean to follow the heretic's trail, then? We'll see that Sir Redwald is informed. You know, maybe you just shouldn't even mention you saw us. I mean, there's no real sense in our spreading around our location. Are we gonna get in trouble and need to be rescued? There's no way that that could ever happen. I mean, I guess it did happen with Sid just recently, but... So where are we going exactly? Down there. Oh shit, I think I know what's coming up. I think this is gonna very abruptly be something very cool. It's kind of out of nowhere, or else, well, we'll see. I know what this little arc is for sure. Bzzz. So strange when quiet falls on the drifts, when it is as though the snow muffling out the soundtrack. I thought this stone was like a great crouched giant. I can still see it, even having re-seen. He's got the one thigh, like the knee bent there, the leg doubling back, the other knee folded under it. Actually, if it were facing away, it's like a perfect picture of one. The back peeking. It would have its head lowered on this side, and on this side, well, the truth is concealed by a lesser reality. Now, okay, we'll let you go all the way down to the snowfields. Staircase over there? No. Maybe it's the Dark Souls and this is all ash. What do we got, buddies? Adelfel, I bet you got a side quest. Nope. We begun surveying the warrens for the western entrance, but progress is slow. It would seem not all the rats have left the nest. Estinian. What is Zion, Lord? The moment we arrived at the wall, his face took on an ashen pallor. Does he feel facing the heretics within their own lair? I think he doesn't like bugs. Do you recall the first time you ventured into these tunnels in search of Lady Iceheart? It seems an age ago, does it not? Back then, I still believed myself the commander of the Crystal Braves. Ah, he's just having bad memories. That's, as usual, Final Fantasy XIV subtler than I'm able to anticipate. Not that that's subtle, but I was expecting something infinitely shallower. Ah, the guests of House Fortom, accompanied by the Azure Dragoon, no less. The two Azure Dragoons, shut the fuck up. I cannot imagine what brought you out this far, but you are welcome to enter the tunnels if that is your will. Assuming the Akafa beacon still functions, and we must pray to the 12 that it does, we shall arrive at our destination in mere moments. Though I do not expect to be greeted by the primal Shiva, we should nevertheless be prepared for a frosty reception. The heretics are not like to rejoice at the appearance of uninvited guests, particularly ones with our history. Who's Trichambel? He's just some guy. I don't know. He seems like just this guy, you know. Oh, okay. So never mind. An impressive structure. I wonder how many ages it's endured. Map, you should ask his occupants. They seem a friendly bunch. Oh, this is not what I was expecting. Hey dudes, parley. Dogs of Ishgard, is it not enough that you banish our beloved saint? Will you not be satisfied until the ice is slick with the last drops of our blood? No. Stay your weapons. We come under the flag of parley. We wish only to speak with your mistress that we might broker a peace. Do you think us fools, boy? It will take more than honeyed words to earn our trust. You walk with the Dragon Slayer, and we know all too well what he is capable of. My reputation precedes me. They give us a little choice. Come, brothers, may dragon wings bear us to victory. Body count going up, body count going up. This is also a very bad zone for the fancy fucking HDR that I got going on, because whew, is it bright here. Waste no more words on them. Oh no, that's waste no more words on them. They are deaf to reason. Can I do a little jump? Wild-eyed swordsman.
Your guard is down.
Wow, delivers a jumping attack. Yeah, that's the one, but I'm scaled below 56, so I can't. Jeez, these folks are everywhere. Behold the might of dragon. Wait, no, that's one of the heretics. Behold the might of dragon blood. By the fury, they partake of the blood of dragons. Well, so do you, dude. Seven hells, can dragon blood truly bring about such a transformation? You should not have come here, Ishgardians. Ishgardians of the Ish Galaxy? Ugh, overrated fucking films. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Alt-Shift-S? Oh, there we go. Here, let's use Nebula. Yeah, we're nebulous. Come over here, buddy. Wild-eyed swordsman. Shoot the boy. Swordsman no more. Louis Tiao, the first line. Are we liking the gunblade effects? You are fortunate indeed to behold the true power of our faith. Wow, that's
Focus. Release.
12 for Fend. Aurora. Oh, I granted regen. At last, a foe might sink my lance into. Oh boy, more of them coming, huh? Just gonna finish Louis over here if that's okay. We just about done. Nope. We just have to kill all of the people that we came here to treat with. Oh well. This is the problem when the sword is your first recourse. I mean, I don't know if it was our first recourse, but we didn't make a very sincere effort to de-sword most of our other problems. They fight like demons, 'tis death to remain. Fall back, brothers. Retreat to the cinders. Run away. Well, okay, we didn't murder them, that's good. I see no sign of Lady Iceheart. Whether we could have questioned one of them. What would you ask that we do not already know? They make for the cinders, so must we. Even should an ambush await us, 'tis certain there will be more heretics to question. Cinders, you say? I confess the name is unknown to me. Maybe you would be so good as to enlighten us, Estinian. I suspect it is the heretics' way of referring to the Dreaming Dragon, an island of sorts found in the midst of the frozen lake of Ashpool. Some 500 years past, it is told that the Azure Dragoon in the age fought a dragon of titanic proportions. After a savage struggle, the mighty creature was weakened unto the point of death and forced into a magic slumber by an entire chapter of the Holy Sea's sorcerers. Along a rain of ash and cinders, they began to fall upon the sleeping serpent's motionless form, covering the creature at length in a shroud of grey. Of course, a thick layer of ice has since formed atop it, but you may be sure I speak true. Fascinating tale. We should make haste to this Ashen Isle. It's very interesting when an art asset in a game like that painting of the dragon on the wall back in that church meeting room is just like a piece of art, like that might have been posted to DeviantArt. That's a very cool, like, way for a person to leave a creative mark on the world. Only land where wars raged for 1,000 years could enough ash fall to bury a dragon the size of an island. What? You've driven off the heretics? That should certainly ease the minds of our surveyors. My thanks for reading the tunnels of their rat infestation. With any luck, I shall finally be able to carry out my work uninterrupted. The Dreaming Dragon lies far to the west. Before we approach the frozen beast, though, there is another place I would visit first. I'm told the convictors have set up camp in Twin Pools. Their leader, Jean Tejo, may have information of use to us. But mayhap you are not familiar with that name either. The convictors are dragon slayers, after a fashion, but I'm willing to wager that they encounter their fair share of heretics. If we are indeed walking into a trap, I would learn all there is to know of our foe. Sound suggestion. Let us speak with these convictors then, and temper our haste with a measure of caution. That's a good line. Just temper our haste with a measure of caution. Temper our haste with a measure of caution. Yeah, it's I can remember which one's iambic and which one's trochaic. And temper our haste with the, well, anyway, it's that. My sense for these things is not especially studied, but definitely tuned to it. Bad emphasis landing really stands out. So where are we going? We're going up on top of this hill? Because there's a big dragon head up here. Oh no, there's more than a dragon's head up here. There's a dragon's everything up here. These crystals must have erupted from its back when it died? It seems like how it usually goes. It seems like it would fit the metaphysics of the setting. Well, there's people around here. Cut my hand with his damn knife. Captain says no hunting till it heals. Bonne foi. We convictors are all here for the same reason. To try to prove ourselves and move up in the world. Best way to do that is with an impressive fair combat. Jean Delard may not be a master of spearmanship, but he's a great leader. His ambition that counts, and nobody here wants to prove themselves in the realm more than he does to the realm. Jean Tejo chat a lot. Well, what do we have here? Hoping to join the esteemed ranks of the convictors, are we? The hard-eyed lad looks promising, but you have a frail look about you, boy. I'll give you 3 days if the wild to claim your corpse. I beg your pardon. Be not so quick to judge. I have seen this frail youth fanatics with a flick of his wrist. And who are you to question by the fury? That armor, that lance, the Azure Dragoon himself graces our camp. Pray forgive my disrespect, sir. I am Jean Tillot, leader of the Convictors and fellow slayer of dragons. I ask what winds, fair or foul, carry you into our humble camp. Meow. Ah, Lady Iceheart, is it? I know her by reputation, but I'm afraid I've seen naught of her or her people. That said, my own men can be somewhat lax when it comes to making reports. You may wish to question them yourselves. Thank you. We shall. Erwin, Estinian, let us make our way through the camp and see what information there is to be had. Oh yeah, I saw the ultimate enemy, but I didn't think you'd really be interested to know about that. But, excuse me, I guess we can probably track progress by the level of the MSQ, right? 51, so we're like 10% of the way through. Camp of the Convictors. Alphino is eager to gather information on the heretics. Surely one of these people will have encountered heretics while out hunting. Pray speak with as many as you can, Erwin. Honor, glory, men seek these things in battle. Alas, all too often they find something else entirely. Pogs. Every battlefield in the realm is littered with a... why is the word escaping me? Carpet of pogs. Nay, I know of no heretics. Do you honestly expect me to keep track of every Retmo, Vermont, and Bartena that wanders in and out of camp? The Bourge Banneret. Chocobo Keep is not related. You in need of a Chocobo, Porter? Well, accidentally registered the Chocobo network. What if I talk to you again? No, same thing. Boorish Bowman. Are there any heretics in the area? I have not the faintest idea why a heretic could pass under my very nose, and I should be none the wiser. I hunt dragons, my dear fellow, the big ones. Forever do I scan the skies for signs of my prey. I care not for the miserable creatures that scurry upon the ground. Dork. It's the same line again, okay. Kenrek. Oh, you got a quest. Now we should make sure to talk to Estinian as well. I may have erred in seeking the wisdom of these whelps. Well, you know, we all make mistakes. I often know you got some other comment to make. While this is, I confess, a somewhat tedious business, one of these people may have valuable knowledge that will save us days of searching. I think you may be right. Lucii. The heretics, you say? Why don't you go bother Puriquay or someone? I have enough trouble keeping these preening fops fed and clothed as it is. There's no business of mine what folk do with themselves out there in the wilds. I'm making you queen. Puriquay. You just puffing on your pipe over here, boyo? Jeez. Something I can help you with, me lord? Heretics, is it? Well, I've never seen one myself, but I ain't to say I haven't heard a thing or two. We would be grateful for any information you can share with us. The gods know we've gleaned precious little from talking to the rest of these people. If you please, me lord, I'm Puriquay, a soldier by trade, don't know much of one if I'm honest. It weren't for the love of stabbing folk that I took up the spear, see. Now it was by order of Sir Jantelot's, he's lower class, right? Sir Jantelot's father. Still, as long as they keep paying me wages, I ain't fussy as to what they have me do. Not everyone's as patient as me, though. Plenty of low-born lads who get pressed into service start grumbling before they've ever seen their second battle. And once they've gotten to thinking how unfair it all is, they don't take much for heretics to turn their heads. From what I hear, the simple promise of freedom tends to do it. Yeah, compelling, isn't it? That may explain how Lady Iceheart was able to expand her following so swiftly. Yeah, the slave state next door. Sad to say, some mates of mine gobbled down the heretics' tribe and asked for seconds. Told me they were off to the Western Islands to light a signal fire. That's how you let the heretics know you're serious about joining their ranks, apparently. Set up some purple smoke and the bastards come to you. Is that so? Why then? I'm minded to start a fire. Camp of the Convictors. Oh, wow. Is that... Ooh, is that a reference to Camp of the Saints? A lord must be a warrior of some renown to keep company with the likes of the Azure Dragoon. Me? I'll be lucky to last 3 beats with some of them big nasty Travanians. I guess he wasn't saying it in like a... He was saying it in a scared way. I'm not familiar with the building of signal fires, but how difficult could it possibly be? There's the old Alpha now I love. Purple flame, purple flame. If we are to lure our foes to our position, we must find a means of producing a signal of purple hue. As it so happens, I once heard tell of a trapper who dropped the hide of a woolly yak onto his campfire. Apart from the terrible stench, the story also described in detail the smoke from the smothered flames was tinged a deep violet. You are a monster hunter of some note, are you not, Erwin? It should prove a trifling task for you to procure a number of hides. We may need to burn more than one ere the heretics notice our beacon. Master Alphino, you and I shall gather wood for the fire. It will take the both of us to find enough dry fuel in this frozen wasteland. Let us meet again at the Dreaming Dragon with the fruits of our labor. Did we actually go to the Dreaming Dragon yet? Or that was our next stop right after these ding-dongs? So this is just efficiency stuff. They're like, hey, go kill these yaks, then meet me where we're going. That's what I like. That's that intentional design that I was asking for. Yeah, it's past the hour, both in runtime and here, but I kind of think we might not have that far to go in this zone. And I'd love to finish this zone. What a wonderful design. Look at you, you fucking nightmare. What are these things called? The things that look just like this in A Starred War. Yak hides from woolly yaks. The bristly hide of a now hideless yak. Brutal. What a harsh thing to say. Gorsh, pulverizing pound. Thank you. My need for these was great. I do hope you'll forgive me for denuding you. You have been diverted. I don't know why I was... No, because you have been diverted is what Agrojag says when he kidnaps Arthur from a teleport, right? I always think of it as what the dude in the cloak says in Kingdom Hearts. This world has been connected. Left Ishgard on a mission of noble purpose, and now here I am scrabbling for sticks in the snow. How can my hands be at once so numb and yet so sore? Yeah, you're growing up, boyo. Everything gets that way. To seem that collecting firewood is a new experience for Master Alphino. His must have been a privileged upbringing. Have you the eyes we need? Yes, the skins of skinless yaks. Let's get to it. Purple. Yeah, this would have worked better before day came out and the blown out monitor made it.
I should have known it would be you.
Of course, it's always us, milady.
Word reached me of a struggle with a small but well-armed band of trespassers. Forgive my comrades their hostility. Few come here uninvited, and fewer still with good intent. Now, tell me why you are here.
Would you be interested in having fiber installed? We wish to speak to you. Yeah, let's be more personable. How do you think Erwin conveys that? Erwin's so beautiful in that helmet.
You seek to stem the Dravanian tide with talk. A romantic notion.
Well, you never know.
If you but knew the truth, the spark which lit the flames of this animosity, you would understand the futility of your quest.
You're welcome to elucidate things to us, ma'am. We're all ears. Ooh.
The sordid history my gift has shown me.
Yes, please do.
That which the Holy See has taken such pains to suppress.
What, those nice dudes? But they're so nice. I mean, they've hardly ever just put anyone and everyone to death. Yes.
A millennium passed when an Elizan tribe first sought to claim the lands of Kurthas as its home. Unfortunately for them, Kurthas was already home to dragonkind, and they were not inclined to make way for the invaders. Thus did a bloody war begin. A war which might well have rumbled on until one or the other side was exterminated, had it not been for the resolve of a single woman. That woman's name was Shiva. While those around her fought and died,
Resolve is one word
she
for it.
attempted to parley with the dragons, and in so doing discovered them to be possessed of profound intelligence and reason. The great worm, Hraesvelgar, in particular, so enchanted Shiva that she found herself growing to love the creature, whom her people considered a monster.
Horny for
In
dragons.
the eyes of a
Can
near
relate.
immortal dragon, however, the fleeting life of an Elezen is as that of a freshly cut rose. Scarce has the flower bloomed before it begins to fade and wither. Such melancholy musings plagued Hraesvelgar, who had found in Shiva an unexpected and beloved soulmate. He knew that all too soon, death would snatch her away from him.
The immortality of dragons, as I've said before, is very interestingly used as a story element here.
Their separation, the maid bid the worm consume her, that their spirits might be entwined for eternity.
And he complied, Yeah, this part I'm not so into, but I got
Loath to
friends.
perform the deed, Hraesvelgar ultimately gave in to her plea, and soon thereafter the tale of their ill-fated love spread throughout the two warring factions. No more could they raise blade or claw against one another, knowing that the souls of their kin were so inextricably bound.
Yeah, that's gone well.
In the days that followed, man and dragon learned to live in harmony, and together built a nation unlike any the world had ever known. For 200 years did this blissful age of peace continue, as it would to this day, had vilest envy not stirred in the hearts of the Elezen. It is
The
said
elves
that
talk a good
worms owe
game,
their
but
longevity to the boundless reserves of vitality found within their eyes. And 'twas in this belief that a traitorous band of knights deceived their allies of some 2 centuries, and took by force that which they coveted. Nidhogg, he who now stands poised to unleash his wormlings upon Ishgard, was the great dragon who lost an eye to Elezen treachery. And until he prizes it from the hands of the traitor's progeny, no amount of conciliatory words will stay his fury.
Furries,
You are
fury.
wrong, Lady Iceheart.
This game's got it all.
Lest you misunderstand, I do not doubt your vision of the past. 'Tis true that Nidhogg greatly desired to reclaim the Eye. Indeed, it was for that very reason that I kept it with me as I roamed the land, attempting to draw him away from the city.
Boing.
Good gods.
Until recently, Nidhogg seemed unable to resist its allure and pursued me relentlessly. Needless to say, that is no longer the case. Now, it would seem, he has fixed his attention on Ishgard itself, though he knows full well the Eye does not reside there.
Nidhogg's feeling more vengeful than Lady Iceheart would like to think he is capable of, perhaps.
You believe he targets the capital for another reason?
Oh, or else he knows something we don't, of course. That also seems
I
likely.
believe reason has all but left him. Through the Eye, I feel much of what Nidhogg feels, and the dragon's thirst for vengeance will not be quenched by aught less than a sea of blood.
They make messes wherever they go. Big babies, really. You just gotta be stern with them.
If Nidhogg is
Bop
indeed
them on
lost
the
to
nose.
reason, might we not seek an audience with Hraesvelgar instead?
If we can't talk to God,
no
Junior,
inclination to
should talk
aid
to
in the
God.
invasion of Ishgard, and may yet welcome our efforts to broker a peace.
You still believe that a peaceable solution can be found? Very well. I will take you to him. Our road will lead us
I wonder
to
if that was
Trevania,
dynamic.
the homeland of dragonkind. There we shall ascend unto the clouds, where Hraesvelga resides.
I might go look it up on YouTube, see if that cloud always passes over her face, or if that was just because of the time of day. Ooh, uh-oh, uh-oh. What's happening? What does this mean? We're entering our mind palace. Our secret prison, and that PlayStation startup music plays. One of our crystals is back. Ting. It is such an honor to accept this nomination for Warrior of Light of the Year. I mean, who wore it better than us? I guess this year of all years, there's an awful lot of competition for that. I had a Heart of the World attack.
To take their toll. Rest a while, and should you lose sight of us, Dravania lies beyond the mountains to the west.
Always to the west. Well, that seems like the perfect place to call things just as soon as this wraps, after Midge gets his last word in.
The vestiges of thy mistress's blessing are not as faint as once they were.
Mm-hmm.
Thy will to succeed grants thee unusual fortitude. But will it be enough?
Hard to know. Well, I mean, I guess we can be pretty confident because they did release more expansions. But I don't know for sure. Maybe Warrior of Light dies. What a silly name for a significant quest. Here, let me check on the shadow. Yep. Yeah, it looks like that shadow passing over her face was just a coincidence. But yeah, I think that that is going to take us into the next zone when we continue. Which means that we have gotten as far as I had hoped that we might, and further than I expected that we would. I think there's nothing left to say, but see you soon.